Fishin' Affliction. Hello.
Well, Mom and Dad's grabbed the kids, it's time for the fishing show. Me and old Rusty's gonna go catch 'em down at the fishing hole. Well, you better stick around, cause you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Grab your hats, grab your baits, and don't forget your poles. We're gonna fire up that old Ranger boat and head to the fishing hole. We're gonna try to catch a biggin'. Yeah, that's what we're wishing. Cause me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Yeah, me and old Rusty's got that fishing affliction. Yeah. Man, and we've got it bad.
We got that fishing affliction.
Just like me. Here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here.
Well, rise and shine, it's fishing affliction time, folks, and thank you so much for joining us this morning time. And Big Dog, today is a fishing trip that we had on Old Hickory Lake in some interesting weather conditions.
It's called Major Cold Front, and got on a little bite on Saturday, and we really thought it would hold up, and we had a lot of rain come in, and buddy, when that front hit, the largemouth went down and locked up. But so we decided to go see if the smallmouth bite had started yet, and it started. The better smallmouth hadn't come in yet, and that's one thing people just don't realize is that there are a lot of smallmouth in Old Hickory, and there are several Kentuckys in Old Hickory, and I think they'll be able to see that on the film today.
Well, it was an interesting time on the water. We had some interesting weather, and it made for an interesting show. So without further ado, let's get to our trip on Old Hickory Lake. Big Dog, where are we at and what's going on?
Well, I'm catching bait. I'm catching bait, and that's what the ones I'm hunting are eating. Right there is that big shad. I seen them the other day. They were chasing skipjacks, and eating. You know, they're pushing the bait up on, you know, on some of the shallower bars and stuff. So we're gonna see how many we're gonna be able to catch today on Old Hickory.
Well, folks, after the Big Dog caught that gizzard shad, I picked up my pole, made a cast, and caught some more bait.
Well, Dan, we got a quick catching. You got a daggum.
Look at the bait.
Hey, that's a tarpon, ain't it?
Tennessee tarpon, huh?
A Tennessee tarpon, yeah, skipjack.
But you were saying the other day, this is what they were chasing, about this size?
Hey, there was bass chasing bait that big.
Unbelievable, huh?
On Old Hickory. Now I hope we see them fish today, but.
Well, we got a picture of one of them anyway. Well, folks, let me show you a couple pictures of the fish I'm talking about. You see, the Big Dog went fishing by himself a couple days before we went on this trip, and he got into some monster largemouth, including the 6 1/4 pound giant. And they were feeding on those big gizzard shad and these big skipjack that you see in here. And it's hard to believe that those big bass can eat bait this size, but folks, they sure enough can. So we were expecting to catch us a big largemouth at any time. And on the very next cast by the Big Dog, well, he hooked into a big one. Only problem, it wasn't a largemouth. Weren't you, Big Dog?
Well, I pulled it off that thing. That's a big old drum, I think. I don't know what that is. Yeah, big old drum.
But what happened?
Come off that daggum tree and he loaded up.
He sure did, didn't he?
And let me tell you what.
Where's that bait at, Big Dog?
I don't think he wanted it. I don't think he was really hungry. I don't think he was really hungry, Dan.
My goodness, look at that. Well, first Tennessee tarpon, now Tennessee redfish.
I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know if I can get that out of him.
Well,
I'll just be honest with you. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can get it back or not. Well, not exactly what I was planning on catching off that tree, but he was fun to hang right off the bat this morning. Let me get my Series 3 out of this net. and I'm going back to work on these fish. There's a lot of bait up this morning. We had rain yesterday, 45 degrees this morning, and the color's perfect. They're pulling just a hair current. It ought to be a good morning. And I hope it's a good morning from bass and not every other species in the lake like it has been so far.
Well, folks, in a few minutes, we'll be back with some more fishing action here in the wilds of Old Hickory Lake. And speaking of in the wilds, let's go see some pictures from this week's
In the Wild. Your pictures in the wild. Brought to you by Express Pull and Save. Your home for low price, self-serve auto parts. Saving you money.
Well, folks, it looks like the family of Mr. Greg Wells is going to have to stop teasing him about not getting anything. Because Greg sure enough did, didn't he? This is a 160 class inch buck that Greg harvested while on a recent hunting trip. Now, Greg, who's a handicapped hunter, hunts off the ground off of a hunting chair. And he was able to harvest this 160 class inch buck that had the 6-inch drop tine that extended down into the base of the deer's neck. What an unbelievable rack on a great deer. Congratulations to Greg. And it looks like he's earned the right to do the teasing now. Folks, you can send your pictures to pics@fishandaffliction.com and be sure to visit the picture galleries at fishandaffliction.com and send us those great pictures, because maybe you'll see them right here on the big screen.
In the Wild. Your pictures in the wild. Brought to you by Express Pull and Save. Your home for low price, self-serve auto parts, saving you money.
It's kind of like this, all over, like that.
Maybe kind of like if you kind of steady, and if you pop it a little bit, you know.
There's no way I'm going to do that.
I believe it's like this.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
It's like this. Then it's going like this.
No way.
Kind of like this. The sexy swimmer, it's got action you can't believe until you see it. I'm kind of liking this.
Big Dog, where do you go when you need a gigantic selection of used auto parts at great prices?
Where everybody goes, Express Pull and Save in Laverne, Tennessee.
Conveniently located, Express Pull and Save offers a huge and continually updated inventory of vehicles for your automotive needs. Their simple, state-of-the-art customer service terminal will help you locate the parts so you can pull and save. From exterior parts like bumpers, taillights, wheels, and rims to those hard-to-find interior items such as switches, mirrors, and seats, the friendly and courteous staff of Express Pull and Save makes it so easy to pull and save, even if you're the big dog.
Hey, Big Dog.
What?
Pull and Save's on that side of the fence.
But don't you think these will look good on the Ranger?
Express Pull and Save, your home for low price, self-serve auto parts. Smyrna Ready Mixed is an established company that handles business daily with integrity and professionalism. Whether you're a general contractor, a professional home builder, or a do-it-yourself homeowner, SRM has all your concrete solutions. With several locations in the Middle Tennessee area to service you, SRM offers a wide variety of concrete mix designs, admixtures, reinforcing products, aggregates, and much more to meet the requirements of any construction project that you have. From the biggest to the littlest, SRM is here to service you with unmatched quality and service. SRM, serving you with integrity and professionalism.
The Tournament Trail for those who've got it bad. Brought to you by SRM, Smyrna Ready Mix, serving you with professionalism and integrity.
Folks, here's the tournament trail results from Mike's Saturday morning tournament held there on Percy Priest on December 11th, 2010. First place with 12.23 pounds went to the team of John and Matt Coleman. Second place with 10.44 pounds, the team of Dave and Jesse Rigsby. Now, first big fish was 6.22 pounds, caught by the team of Byrne and Holland. And the second big fish was caught by Klaus and Francis, and it weighed 5.29 pounds. Great fishing, guys. Thanks to Anderson Marine for the information, and congratulations to all those winners. Folks, you can send your tournament results to info@fishandaffliction.com, and be sure to check out our ever-growing tournament archives at fishandaffliction.com. And thanks to Smyrna Ready Mix for being the sponsor of the Fishin' Affliction Tournament Trail. And now, back to Fishin' Affliction. Well, folks, welcome back to Fishin' Affliction, and it's time for an installment of Big Dawg's Big Misses.
I'm going to try to keep him down, Dawg. I'm going to take him out off his club. And I hope it's a big largemouth. I don't know what it is, but I know it's solid. And I mean really solid. Oh, he come off. Oh, he come off. Look at the swirl from that fish, Dan. Oh my goodness, what a giant. What a giant. What a giant. I don't know if the fish didn't realize he was hung or what. Quit laughing, it ain't funny.
Oh, Big Dawg's Big Misses. We've been needing one. What do you think it was?
I seen the fish was this long, but I couldn't see what he was.
Carp?
And I don't think he was daggum even knew he was hung. I could see he had a dark back. I couldn't see if it was a big drum, a big smallmouth, a big largemouth. He wasn't acting right, but I've hung largemouth where they just, I hit them in a funny place, and they do like that until they figure out they're hung, then they go berserk.
Folks, if you see this fish, please call the Big Dawg.
I'm going to kill you. Turn the camera off.
Please.
We don't need any violence on TV. I'm going to kill you.
If you see that fish, please call us at Fishin' Affliction. Well, folks, after having a little fun with the Big Dawg, we knew it was time to change our strategy and target a different species of fish.
I'm gonna tell you guys, we got there this morning. I got into a real good largemouth bite on Saturday. It was bright out, the temperature was up, the bait was up, and as soon as we got there today, we saw that the bait was down. We had a major cold front coming on us. The wind had switched 5 to 10 out of the north, and just complete flat water and a better bite for smallmouth and spots. And so we started on our largemouth places, and then seeing that, hey, this isn't going to work out, so we started keying on the smallmouth. Now, anytime you're in these kind of conditions, you've got to learn to adapt, and adapt in a hurry, and that's what we ended up doing today.
Ooh, that looked like a smallmouth there, Dan. Oh, Mr. Smallmouth. Well, there's Mr. Smallmouth. I was wondering when he was going to show up this morning. But anyway, now I made a little, I bet Dan 10 cents a fish that I was going to catch 3 smallmouth today. If we stay on the pattern we were on. That's a good little chunky smallmouth. He's not colored up like a lot of them, but he is a good smallmouth. As long as he don't hang me in the hand, he's a good one. Let's go ahead and grab him and get this bait out of his mouth. Now, you know, people don't realize that, but there's a lot of these in Old Hickory, you know, unless you target them, and we're kind of targeting them this morning. We're hitting the deeper rocks and the, you know, cranking the deeper rocks and stuff. But we're on a good smallmouth day, so maybe we'll see a few more of them today.
Big Dawg, I think you were right about smallmouth bite. Oh, that's pretty fish.
Good looking smallmouth there now.
Isn't that pretty?
That's a chunk.
And, you know, I just missed one just a second ago. On this Series 3, and some really interesting how we're in deep water. We're in 15 foot right here. But these fish are coming up to feed, huh?
Yep.
Beautiful fish.
Time for me to pick my Series 3 back up.
Hey, why don't you keep throwing that gollywomper? Folks, you can see that changing our strategy by targeting a different species of fish started working, and not only for smallmouth.
Another small jaw?
I think it's our first largemouth. Or no, it might be a spotted bass, big dog. Yeah, spotted bass.
That's a spot. Well, we've caught one of all three species today.
We have, haven't we?
Yeah, that's a little keeper spot.
What's the size limit on Old Hickory? 12?
12 inches on spots. Yeah.
They're such fighting fish, aren't they?
Yeah, 18 on smallmouth, 14 on largemouth.
Beautiful. And these little Strike Kings, Series 3s. Beautiful color bait. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, it's a natural shag color. A lot of the bait has a silvery side to it with a dark back right now.
This is just a tiny bit of translucent into the way that the Strike King did this also.
Yeah, and it's shiny too.
Isn't it cool? Do you want yours?
Better fish, Dan, I'll tell you.
Another spot, big dog, or is it a largemouth?
I think it is a pretty solid spot.
Ooh, nice one, big dog.
He's bad, ain't he?
He is. Oh, what a nice chunky
fish. Little football, man. I'm having fun today, you know. I mean, we're catching every kind of species in the world. We hadn't got on the big largemouth bite like what I got on the other afternoon. I mean, I had a couple of really big fish, you know, that were big largemouth that, this one here, that's a good Old Hickory spot there. Now he's fat, chunky, been feeding good. You like to see them like that out here. And once again on the Series 3, you know, we're throwing in about 3 to 4 foot of water, keeping the boat in about 12 to 15, and they're chasing this bait up and down through here.
Maybe the activity's starting to pick up a little bit too, big dog.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of rain yesterday and a lot of wind, and you would have thought the fish would have fed really good yesterday. And temperature hadn't come up this morning. It stayed about 44, 45 all morning long. In fact, it may have gotten just a hair cooler. But the good thing is we hadn't had a lot of light penetration, so it's kind of stayed cloudy. And we've seen a couple of fish feed, but it seems like in the afternoons or when I fished Saturday, there was a lot more fish up late, so maybe we'll get in a few of those later.
Well, folks, the fish are starting to bite on Old Hickory, and in a moment we'll be back with some more fishing action. But right now, let's go see what Miss Vic's got cooking this week. In the Skillet with Chef Vicki Porter is brought to you by Cleepy.com, turning your precious memories into video treasures.
Welcome to In the Skillet. I'm Vicki Porter, and today I have a family favorite holiday recipe that was given to me by Aunt Linda. It is for bacon wrapped water chestnuts. And now for the ingredients. You will need 1/2 pound of bacon cut into thirds, 1 8-ounce can of water chestnuts, 3/4 cup of ketchup, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and toothpicks. First, wrap each water chestnut with a piece of bacon and secure it with a toothpick. In a separate bowl, mix together your ketchup and brown sugar. Next, dip each chestnut in the sauce and place it in a greased baking dish. Now bake these in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes. After just 20 minutes in the oven, you'll be ready to enjoy Aunt Linda's classic bacon wrapped water chestnuts. You can find this recipe at fishandaffliction.com. I'm Vicki Porter. Tune in next week to see what's cooking in the Skillet.
Hey, what do you think about these? Shaw Grigsby likes these, but Denny Brower looks awesome in these. You know, a lot of people don't know that Strike King is the #1 importer of packaged polarized sunglasses in the whole entire country. I've seen Mark Davis wear these, and I like them a lot. They're awesome. But you know what? Me, I have got to have my monsters.
For hunters only. Brought to you by Fishin' Affliction. for those who've got it bad, both on the water and in the woods.
Well, folks, catfish can sure get some footage for hunters only. But my friend, you went a stretch where you didn't see anything, did you? How many days did you go?
Went 14 days and never seen a deer.
14?
14.
And went a 15th trip and saw deer.
Yeah, I saw a deer and I saw a bobcat that evening.
Ooh, and then tell me about the 16th trip.
On the 16th day, that morning, a buddy of mine killed a deer, so I helped him with him all morning. And that evening I went back. I was running late. I didn't have but maybe a little over an hour to hunt. And when I climbed up the tree, had my tennis shoes on, run off and left my boots. But I had my tennis shoes on, climbed up in a tree, looked off the hill, and there was a deer coming up the hill. Wound up being 2 does. And this deer behind us, he come in probably 5 or 10 minutes after the does left. And as I was filming him, I heard something behind me, and when I turned, this 8-point, he come up there. He wasn't a monster, but I was pleased with him after not seeing anything as long as I did. I had a blast this evening. Got here late. Didn't figure I'd see anything, but they started coming in before I even got the gun up the tree. Some does. I got the does home. I didn't get him on film because my bag was on the ground. But he's a pretty thing. He ain't no monster, but I'll take him.
Well, fish, I'll tell you what, my friend. Diligence, but a little extra on diligence too. Tell me a little bit about the good luck charm.
A buddy of mine's girlfriend's daughter, she come up to me and made me a necklace 2 nights before I harvested this deer. And I just got to thinking about it, and I thought, I'm gonna wear that necklace this weekend. I hadn't seen a deer, so I need my luck to change. So I wound up getting my head shaved the night before rifle season, and Carly made me this necklace here, and I put it around my neck. And
that's the first time it's been off your neck, isn't it?
The first deer I seen in 15 days, I was wearing this necklace, and then the next day I harvested that buck. So as you can see, I'm not going back in the woods without this necklace right here.
And
so I appreciate it, Carly.
That necklace says catfish on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Carly, thank you so much for making the necklace and changing catfish's luck. And now back to
Fishin' Affliction.
It's time for Fishin' 101, brought to you by Maryville Middle Bass Club. Now here's Carla.
Thanks guys. As we all know, there are a few things that's disheartening of having our line break when we're reeling in a fish. So today we've got some tips on picking the proper fishing line. First, check for the strength rating of the line, which is measured in pounds of force it will take to break the line. Pick something suitable to bring in the type of fish you're after that day. Also, look for a line with a higher abrasion resistance if you're going to be fishing around rocks or brush. Lines that stretch will be more forgiving and not break as easily, though it can be a little harder to detect a strike or set the hook. And once you've found the right line, store it in a dark place and keep it away from gas and other chemicals which can cause it to deteriorate. Then check it frequently while fishing by running the last several feet of the line between your thumb and fingers to feel for nicks and abrasions. By picking and taking care of the right line, you'll never have to tell another story about the big one that got away. I'm Carla, and this has been Fishing 101 with the Maryville Middle School Bass Club.
Well, folks, welcome back to Fishin' Affliction, and this portion of the show is brought to you by the ever-powerful Deca-Gel batteries and Kistler rods. Fishing never felt so good. And after spending a little time with this here raccoon, it was time to catch some more fish on Old Hickory Lake. Another smallmouth, big dog? No. Oh, wow.
That's a large work around over here where I can get him in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a large mouth. We missed one on that tree back here. Caught that one, didn't we?
Sure did.
Yeah, he got 2 hooks. That's probably why we caught him. Now, I'm going to tell you what. If that Channel 5 weatherman's watching, I'm going to tell you, there's that largemouth. He missed his forecast today. 60. My goodness, this isn't 60. This is like 42. and it's already 11, a little bit after 11:30. So I'm gonna tell you, this front come in a lot harder than what they said it was going to. We've had a north wind all day, and it has really affected the bite. We're not getting as many decent bites, although we are catching some fish and making the best day out of it. We're just not getting the big bites. And what I'd like to see is this break up a little bit and that sun pop out. But we're gonna back off here in a second just to see if we can get a bigger bite. You know, we stayed up shallow trying to catch feeding fish, and it's not working, so we're gonna make a move here in a second.
Well, after making that move, it was time to catch a couple more fish here on Old Hickory Lake.
There's a good one.
I think so. Nice little fish, big dog. How about that? On the Chartreuse Strike King Series 3.
Yeah, that's another good chunk.
They're such a beautiful fish. There's a healthy population of them in Old Hickory in there, big dog.
Yeah, there's more in here than people realize. It's just a matter of fishing for it and targeting them. And we've kind of targeted them today. You know why we targeted them, Dan? Because the largemouth wouldn't hit.
It's a necessity. It's a necessity.
Well, that was loaded on right there. I mean loaded on. Now I had one on a minute. Oh, another smallmouth. Look at him walk down the side of the boat, man.
Well, folks, as we watch the big dog catch one more smallmouth there on Old Hickory Lake, we'd like to wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas. And as a special gift from Fishin' Affliction, we've got a great Christmas show for you next week. It's our Christmas Day Big Fish Special, featuring some of the big fish caught here on Fishin' Affliction. So tune in next week when you hear the big dog say.
That's what I refer to as Godzilla.
Folks, thank you so much for tuning in this week to Fishin' Affliction. We sincerely appreciate your time. And thank you so much to our sponsors as they keep us going. Be sure to tune in next week to Fishin' Affliction, because there's no doubt.
Yeah, me and old Rusty's got that Fishin' Affliction.
And folks, don't forget to go to FishinAffliction.com to the online store, because that's where you'll find your favorite single episodes of Fishin' Affliction for only $5, or any of the season box sets for only $19.95. All of that at our online store. And folks, if you want to contact us here at Fishin' Affliction, you can contact us at rusty@FishinAffliction.com or
Dan@FishinAffliction.com.
We would love to hear from you, so send us a line when you get a chance.
Man, and we've got it bad.
Rusty's catching today. I'll bet you anything.
Here, watch it.
Hey, he'll hit a Strike King bait. Let's go.
Ain't nothing safe around me.